What's going on, guys? This is Mr. DeLORIAN here. Welcome back to a brand new video. And today what I want to do is break down and talk about some new teaser images that we just got for Fear the Walking Dead Season 7.
We stick together.
Now, the images that we will be going over in today's video do come from a website called Fansite. I'll try to make sure to link down below in the description so you guys can go take a look at these images for yourselves, which I do highly recommend since they are very, very cool images and do reveal a lot about what we will be seeing going into Season 7 regarding our characters and story. So without further ado, let's hop right into these photos because they are really, really cool. So our first photo shows Morgan and Grace kind of out in like, the aftermath of Teddy's bombs. I'm not sure if this is 100% Tank Town, but it definitely is like, the nuclear aftermath of like, the nukes that Teddy dropped it back in Season 6. Since they all have on their kind of like, nuclear protection gear and everything with like, kind of the gas mask and everything. And Morgan has the baby in kind of this Death Stranding looking like, incubator, which is really cool in my opinion. Like I thought this was like, super, super cool to see like, Morgan, like he looks really cool, keep in mind. Like a lot of the characters that we will be seeing like, on the outside and like, the nuclear blast zone and everything, or like kind of like the nuclear waste area. A lot of them look like, straight out of Mad Max, especially Morgan and like, Grace and like, the baby right here, which the baby looks more out of like, Death Stranding. But back to what I was saying earlier, I do feel this is in like, kind of a nuclear Holocaust area and everything. And I wonder if this is Tank Town since there is like, a tank vehicle and everything over there. But I do wonder where they all are going or where they are since like, all of them are outside of like, the submarine. But this is a really cool first image. I do wonder where they're off to since like, they're all leaving the submarine. So maybe they found a new area. Maybe they're gonna go visit some other people in this like, kind of like, Wasteland. But Morgan and Grace do look, very, very cool, especially Morgan, how he kind of looks like, like I said, straight out of Mad Max with like, the jacket, the trench coat and everything. And I do think the baby looks like, really, really cool and everything. And kind of like, incubator, like I said, just like Death Stranding. We get another image of Morgan and Grace inside of what I'm assuming is the submarine, although it doesn't really, but I'm just gonna assume it's inside the submarine. And like, with Morgan tending to the baby and Grace, I'm assuming maybe getting it food or getting some food for herself. But obviously, like we did see in our other sneak peek that we did break down on the channel, Morgan and Grace don't look to be doing too well, like, as like, relationship wise. They look to be very, very kind of like, tensed at each other. And they obviously now have like, reason to live, which is a responsibility to take care of their friends, like, baby, which would be very interesting. And like, the last image, just seeing them like, out with like, the baby in an incubator and all of that. They're obviously going to do everything they can to take care and make sure the baby survives while they also survive so they can like, take care of the baby and make sure it survives. In our next image, we do get June and everything. And obviously, the last we did see of June and John Sr. is they were getting down to Teddy's kind of like, bunker after their whole like, confrontation with Teddy. And like, I think I completely forgot her name, but she was the character that killed John. I'm not even kidding. I completely forgot her name. But this is, I'm assuming, John and June or anything down in like, kind of Teddy's like, bunker that he was planning on going down into and leaving his people to die. But I'm assuming this is them down inside the bunker and everything. And last we did see of June and John, like, was outside of kind of the bunker, more so getting in back in the season finale of Season 6. But we did get a teaser or a sneak peek along with like, a bunch of other stuff at Comic-Con at Home 2021, and it was of June and John finding like, what was Teddy's like, kind of like, evil lair, because essentially before the apocalypse, John Sr. was like, kind of like, left his family and everything to go hunt down Teddy and kind of like, truly like, capture him and find out where he was doing all of his killings, because obviously before like, the apocalypse, Teddy was like, a serial killer that killed women and a bunch of other people. And in the sneak peek, they eventually finally find Teddy's like, lair. We killed the women and everything after like, this kind of like, hurricane or like, earthquake, and it kind of leaves this hole in the wall where John and June burst it down and everything. They eventually find like, Teddy's like evil lair, which has all these like, fucked up contraptions and everything, where Teddy basically killed the women and did all these horrible things, to which June feels like, very sick at looking at all of this. And I think since obviously she's a woman, so she probably feels that, well, what these people went through, and it's obviously, very sickening for anyone to see, especially her. But obviously, like, John feels feels very, very satisfied they finally figured out where, like, you know, Teddy did all the things that he did, and he feels kind of a sense of a little bit of a sense of closure. The next image is of Strand and a new character and everything. Yet again, Strand looking out of, like, you know, straight out of Mad Max, but we have Strand here and everything, yet again looking straight out of Mad Max with our new character Will, which we did see Strand with one other character in the season 6 finale, which I did forget what his name was, but Strand and him did think they were gonna die in the nuclear blast, which they ended up, like, you know, living. And I'm not sure if this is that character that Strand didn't find in the, like, in the season 6 finale, but if it isn't, I wonder if he's gonna form his own group, since a lot of people are convinced that Strand will be kind of going, like, you know, evil mode or with, like, you know, a different group in season 6, since at the end he kind of, like, you know, revealed who he was to, like, you know, the person that he did find in the season 6 finale, and that was kind of, like, you know, revealed who he truly is as a person, and he was kind of honest with himself. But I wonder if he's gonna find a new group, or if he's gonna go, like, you know, find Alicia. But telling about his outfit and everything, he, like, you know, looks to be taking on the Mad Max lifestyle that Morgan and, like, you know, Grace are. But I do wonder, is he gonna be like them and he's gonna need, like, you know, the gas mask, or if there maybe, like, you know, some of their group is gonna succumb to, like, kind of the radiation poisoning all around them, because obviously they're gonna need, like, you know, some, like, you know, gear to go, like, you know, closer to where Morgan and the rest of the group are, especially, like, you know, Alicia, since she was in, like, you know, the nuclear blast range, since as we last saw her and everything was a, like, you know, a POV from her inside the bunker, and that did show a lot of nuclear, like, you know, material and blast going down there. So I do wonder if Strand's gonna find a new group, if he is really gonna go evil mode, or just, like, you know, go on with a new group, and if they're gonna have to, like, you know, kind of play by the new rules of the Wasteland and have, like, you know, all that gear, which it does look like, telling by Strand's, like, you know, look, that he is gonna have, like, you know, some gear to go into, like, you know, this Wasteland. Now the next two images is basically of Daniel, Al, Sarah, and Luciana in kind of this mystery location after Al sent Isabella, what I'm assuming is Isabella, who was essentially the CRM soldier that Al kind of had a bit of a relationship with and wanted to find and, like, you know, go away with, which that's just assuming that that's the person that, like, you know, Al sent to go get, like, you know, Daniel, Sarah, and Luciana, and, yeah, like, you know, the Rabi, like, Charlie and the other characters in the season 6 finale, like, you know, before or after, I think, the nuclear blast happened. But with our first shot, we have Daniel and Alan and everything in this kind of mystery location, and in the next image, we have Luciana and Sarah, who doesn't look to be doing too well, or at least I think that's Sarah. I don't know, she just doesn't look to be doing too well in my opinion. But with these two images, we basically do get a confirmation that we will be seeing more into where they are going, since in my opinion, when I did see them getting, like, you know, taken by the CRM helicopter, I thought that'd be the last we would see of them until maybe World Beyond, maybe, like, you know, future in the Fear the Walking Dead universe, maybe on The Walking Dead or in the Rick Grimes movies. But no, it turns out we are going to learn about more of where they went, and it's going to be more explored in the season, like, you know, 7, which I'm really excited to see, like, you know, because I wonder if they're going to be taken to, like, you know, the CRM, if, like, Isabel maybe realizes she can't take them with her, and maybe brings them to, like, a new, like, you know, new location, because I'm not going to lie, this place does not look like the CRM, or, like, you know, as sophisticated as I would assume the CRM to be, but yet again, it could be and everything, and I wonder how much we're going to get to explore of the CRM if they are taken to there, because I think I did hear that Isabel will maybe be playing a bigger role in season 7. Don't quote me on that and take that as a, like, you know, massive grain of salt, that she will be actually playing a role in season 7, and if that is the case, and, like, you know, it practically might definitely be the case, since we are confirmed to be getting more of, like, you know, a view inside the CRM with Al, Daniel, West, Charlie, the Rabi, Sarah, and Luciana now being in or with a CRM soldier. But I do think it's really cool in my opinion. I really do, like, I'm very interested to see what they're going to do with all of that, you know, with them being with a CRM soldier and possibly in the CRM. And I do wonder where this does play into the CRM. Is this early CRM? Is this World Beyond CRM? Is this Rick Grimes movie CRM? And I wonder if they will meet our, like, you know, World Beyond cast, which would be really interesting in my opinion. Maybe, like, you know, if you see them off to the side, or maybe they'll meet to, like, you know, the father of Hope from World Beyond. That'd be really cool. And in the last and final image, you do get to see Dwight and Sherry walking around this kind of military base, which is really, really weird. Since the last we saw them, they were with this group down in, like, a cellar, avoiding some, like, you know, I think of Teddy's group, and just, like, you know, hanging around this cabin, and now they're in this military base. Now, here's the thing. I could be completely forgetting what else happens to them in, like, like, the remainder of season 6 and where they truly went. But they are with this, like, kind of military, like, group and everything. And I do wonder, like, what's gonna go on, who's this, like, group that they're with and everything, because they do look like, very fitted in the apocalypse and everything. Like, they have, like, the military vest, the military camouflage and gear. I'm assuming they're heavily, like, equipped with, like, machine guns and, like, just guns in general. And obviously Dwight and Sherry do look very out of, like, the element. They're kind of like, who the hell is this group and everything, which obviously I'm saying the same thing right here. But I do wonder if there's gonna be, like, obviously there's gonna be a little bit of a time jump, as I did mention in other videos, maybe, like, a few weeks, like, the most, since everyone kind of looks like, the exact same as they did in season 7, or not season 7, in season 6. And also, as it is mentioned in this article and on this website, they are, like, they have no masks on and everything, and they have no, like, gear to defend them from, like, the radiation. So I do wonder if they're maybe taken further away and everything, since I think they were outside the nuclear blast and everything that took place in the season 6 finale. I think they were out of the blast radius, or maybe they weren't. Because I think they did go down to a cellar, but they obviously were taken far away, since they are, like, have no gear or mask on or anything. Obviously this military group doesn't either, so I'm very interested to see, like, what this group's all about. And also, as it does mention in this article, we do get no, like, no teaser images or any, like, info on, like, Alicia's whereabouts. Obviously she's down the bunker that Teddy locked her in, but we have, like, no information regarding what she's, like, going through, what's going on with, like, Alicia going into season 7 yet. I think it would be really cool to figure out that maybe, like, Madison was locked down there too and everything, and that's how she finds her. Kind of like, a season 5 or season 4 moment from The Walking Dead, when Rick finds the rest of them inside, like, the train car, and Alicia finds her mom inside, like, the bunker, and she's like, they're fucking with the wrong people, but there's no more people that are doing any fucking around with people, since obviously Teddy and his group are all fucking dead. But those were all the teaser images that we did get for Fear the Walking Dead season 7 so far. What'd you guys think of all of them? Because I thought they were all really, really cool, especially seeing Morgan and Grace, like, kind of in their Mad Max attire out in the Wasteland with the baby incubator, which looks really cool, and like I said, reminds me heavily of Death Stranding. What do you guys think is going to go on with, like, Morgan and Grace and everything? Like, how do you guys think their lives are affected? Which obviously their lives are pretty affected because of, like, the nuclear holocaust that Teddy left them with. But how do you guys think they're going to be going into season 7? How do you guys think they're going to live and, like, gather supplies and everything in this new, like, Wasteland? And how do you guys think their relationship is going to be going into season 7? Because like I said, I think it's pretty, it's not looking good. What do you guys think is going to happen with, like, June and John Sr. down in kind of Teddy's old, like, nuclear bunker? What do you guys think is going to go on with Strand and his new buddy Will, and maybe, like, his entire group that maybe he just found? Do you guys think he's going to kind of go, like, rogue and go on, oh, like, find his new group? Do you guys think he's going to be evil, or do you think he's just going to go on with a new group? What do you guys think is going to happen with Al, Daniel, and the rest of the group and everything? Do you guys think they're going to go to the CRM, or do you think Isabel's just going to go and, like, maybe drop him off somewhere else because she's maybe, like, cares about Al too much to bring her into this, like, possibly hostile wasteland that is the CRM, as she, like, describes the CRM at least? And what do you guys think is going on with, like, Dwight and Sherry, and, like, who do you guys think this military group is and everything? And I don't know, there was just a lot happening in these images and everything. I do think they are all really cool, and I can't wait to see season 7, because season 6 was truly an outstanding season of Fear the Walking Dead, coming off of, like, the horrible season 4 and season 5. Even though I didn't think season 5 was that bad, in my opinion, it definitely wasn't great, and season 6 was great, and I hope season 7 is just as much of a banger as season 6 was. But yeah, those were all the images and everything that I were able to, like, was able to find. Like I said, they'll all be linked down below, so you guys go take a look at these images for yourselves, which I do highly recommend, since like I said, they're all really cool. There's some stuff in this article that is, like, a bit of an interesting read, in my opinion. And yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more of the latest in the Walking Dead universe, and Fear the Walking Dead universe, and more stuff and breakdowns like this, since Fear the Walking Dead's a little bit further away than The Walking Dead, so I'm assuming we'll be getting some more, like, sneak peeks and teaser images such as these. And yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video and everything. I'll see you guys later, my amigos, and peace out.